Right, buddy, Manchester United obviously lost 3-0 yesterday at home to Bournemouth. These are going to be the 5 things we learned from the game. Talking about the biggest takeaways, Amorim, individual players, and much, much more. But the first thing we learned, set pieces are an issue. Set pieces again by Manchester United. Whoever is the set piece coach at Manchester United realistically needs to be sacked, because the way that we concede set pieces is absolutely shocking. Yes, whether it was a foul or not on Malacia, that can be questioned, but the way that we concede and those set pieces, we just don't have a clue what we're doing. Whether that's Zirkzee getting bodied, we conceded 2 against Arsenal, we conceded 1 against Forest, I believe, 1 against City. In our last few games, we've conceded a lot, and Amorim's talked about how he is responsible. Ultimately, it's whoever's in charge of set pieces. Obviously, he's going to take the final blame, but I think it is Carlos Fernandes who is doing the set pieces at Manchester United at this current moment. I think they are very, very poor. And you can see, you kind of see when United have a set piece, he's instructing the players what to do, but ultimately they aren't following his orders. And I think you look at the set pieces that we are conceding, they're just very sloppy. Zirkzee just getting ambushed, just push your body out the way. The goals we've conceded were very, very sloppy, and the set pieces are definitely a big issue at Manchester United and something that needs to be sorted out ASAP. You're looking at most teams, they use set pieces now as a weapon. I think we've conceded the second most set piece goals in the league, only behind Wolves. It's very, very sloppy, the amount of goals. And listen, they only had, I think, was it 1 corner in the whole game? And they had a few set pieces, and ultimately it was that free kick which we scored from. And ultimately, not even us defending, us attacking set piece. I think Bruno Fernandes might be one of the worst corner takers in the Manchester United team. Like 80% of his crosses don't even beat the first man. Is very frustrating. I think Ahmad put a few good corners in, but Bruno on that side was absolutely shocking. So set pieces are an issue again. The second thing, defensive shambles. United conceded 3 goals yesterday. The defence didn't look confident. Amorim talked about how some players were trying to do a bit too much. Onana was a bit anxious. Listen, they are still learning the Ruben Amorim system. I thought the defence was very shaky. Some of the goals were definitely preventable. It was individual errors. Mazraoui didn't look confident. This was probably his worst game he had in the Manchester United shirt. Delo as well massively struggled. Maguire, I think we are missing the lip, and you can see it. 7 goals conceded in 2 games. And the way that he brings that structure and communication and leadership to that back line, and I don't think we have that without him. The defence, it was a bit shaky yesterday. I think when Yoro came on, we looked a bit better, but still, wasn't going to lie to you, was very, very shaky. I thought Martinez wasn't bad, but as an all individual defence, I think from Onana as well, he looked very, very shaky. There certainly were some issues going on defensively for Manchester United, and ultimately, that was the biggest issue. Now, number 3, Bruno in the number 10 dilemma. I think Bruno, listen, we know he's a fantastic player and one of our best players in terms of output and also on the pitch, but in the game like yesterday, where he does go missing for large parts of the game, he's supposed to be our guy who inspires comebacks. And listen, he had 3-4 chances in which he should have scored. But listen, I think against Spurs in that inside 10 worked. I think in the game against Bournemouth, I think you need that technical quality and that flair and that skill, like a Garnacho or Rashford in that position, or Ahmad. We didn't have that enough with Bruno. I think Bruno in midfield, in the 2-6s or 2-8s or 1-6-1-8, I think that's where he can really thrive, but also he doesn't have the defensive ability. So it is becoming a bit of a dilemma where to play Bruno Fernandes at this current moment. Do you play him in the inside 10? Do you play him in the midfield? Because I did not like his performance. And I think he did massively struggle in yesterday's game against Bournemouth. So I think Bruno has become the dilemma. As I said, in midfield, he looks more disciplined, more confident. Then where do you fit Mainoo in? Because Ugarte is definitely starting. So whoever starts next to him, is it going to be Mainoo or Bruno? I mean, it'd be good to rotate them out. And that's what you can see Amorim potentially doing his next game. But again, in the attack, we do lose out because it looks like Rashford's not going to play another game for Manchester United. Ahmad, he struggled in the game, to be honest with you. And who else do we really play in that position? Anthony isn't doing enough. So Garnacho, we'll have to wait and see. But that is the third thing we learned. And number 4, left wing back needed. As I said, we thought having Malacia out, they would give Manchester United a little bit of a quality on our left hand side, but he was very sloppy. And listen, he's played, I think, the first this was his 4th game since returning back from injury, so he is still getting into it. But we need much more better quality in that position, whether that be he's the really only left forward option we have out there. You can try Anthony out there, Ahmad, but I don't think that's is that going to work? Because Malacia just lacked intent. And I think in that wing-back position, Delo massively struggled as well when he went out to that side. And so did Delo and Mazraoui struggle on the full-backs or wing-backs definitely struggled. You can see why Amorim played with wingers in that position. Most of the time it was wingers anyway, because you need to be attacking. You find yourself in loads of one-on-one situations. Delo had a few, but he was just not. I don't think Delo had a successful 1v1. We need help in that position. Like Malacia struggled massively. I think Malacia was someone who, for me, was a big issue on the pitch. He was getting constantly done. He lost the ball. Didn't really put many accurate crosses. Didn't look shaky. Didn't look confident. Looked shaky, and ultimately massively struggled. Now the fifth and final thing we learned. Clear out is needed. Whether that's loads of players need to go, because the fact that we're losing 3-0 to Bournemouth at home is a really big eye opener. Some of the performances from the team was absolutely embarrassing yesterday. I thought Onana, as I said, was shaky. I thought Mazraoui didn't have his best game. Malacia as well. Delo. Kobe looked a bit shaky, let's not lie. Bruno wasn't good. Ahmad, from what we see, listen, we can't rely on Ahmad. Højlund, Xerxes, when they came on, Garnacho, the whole team massively struggled. And yes, we had chances to score and we were probably the more dominant side. But it's good that Amorim is learning these lessons about his squad early on into his tenure. Because listen, if we would have won every game or only lost a few, and had good performances, that we wouldn't really learn. Amorim's learning game by game. The players are really showing their true colours, and I don't think some of them are up to the standards required, really, to be honest with you. You have to look at it in the grand scheme of things. They simply aren't good enough to kind of wear a Manchester United shirt. And yes, this only doesn't come after the 3-0 to Bournemouth. The signs have been there for a long, long time. But listen, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to do some more topic videos. And yeah, let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. Hope you did enjoy. These have been the 5 things we learned from Manchester United's 3-0 loss to Bournemouth. Very, very poor display again at home. Our home form's shocking. But let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Peace.